Good morning. Welcome to Braves Country today. As the Braves lose another one, and you can solely land it on the shoulders of this guy. It is time for this guy to go. Sick and tired of watching him night after night after night bobble and buffle his way through a season where he's clearly in over his head. There is no reason when you get 6 innings of shutout baseball, get a 3-run blast by your second baseman, that you should be looking up at a 4-3 deficit at the end of 7 innings. There's no reason for it. You could tell Morton was at his end. When he got the first guy on, he should have pulled his ass. What are you holding this bullpen for? We just had a day off. I mean, I just can't with this team anymore. It is unbelievable. This guy is so inept. And everyone wanted to pat him on the back last year, which last year I felt like he was extremely overrated. He does not worry about getting W's and putting the foot. He doesn't have the killer instinct. He does not have the killer instinct. He's probably fine to send back to the minors and go down to AA and develop young players. But trying to get a W game after game, night after night, it doesn't happen with this guy. There's no other word for it, the fact that he is incompetent. It shows every single game. And everyone wants to blame the pitching coach, the general manager, et cetera, et cetera. And I'm not saying they have no blame in this at all. But it starts with the guy making the day in and day out decisions. We went after Freddie Gonzalez for this same kind of stuff. But because he's been in the Atlanta Braves organization for decades, nobody wants to go after him. You don't get tenure when you're in the Major League Baseball clubhouse. It's what have you done for me lately? And lately, he's been terrible. He's been absolutely terrible. You either fire his ass or you take the controls away from him. You just make him a sitting manager and you let someone why is Ron Washington not being given an opportunity at this point? I just can't anymore. And I came across a tweet. I'm not going to call the guy out who actually tweeted it because he's just a fan trying to find out what's wrong with this team kind of thing. But he goes on this tweet about Austin Riley has a negative 6.6 UZR. Next worst in Major League Baseball is Fernando Tatis. He's also last among third basemen of OAA at -7. Ultimate zone rating and outs above average, if you're wondering what that is. This is the definition of tell me I don't watch or say that you don't watch baseball without saying that you don't watch baseball. What a dopey ass tweet this was, insinuating that Riley should go to the outfield and they should bring Josh Donaldson. First of all, this is someone who does not grasp the economics of the Atlanta Braves. They don't have the money to bring in Josh Donaldson. If they did, they would have re-signed Josh Donaldson. So put a freaking fork in that. That conversation's done. They don't have the damn money. This isn't the New York Yankees. This isn't the Boston Red Sox. They tried to win under a budget. And that's where we're at with it. Until they get out of that terrible television contract, we still had a couple more seasons left. This is what your Atlanta Braves are. They are a coupon clipping team. And Austin Riley is not the damn concern by any stretch of the imagination. And if you watch Austin Riley on a night in and night out basis, you know what you see? One hell of a young third baseman on his way to becoming a all-star third baseman. He makes the difficult plays. Does he botch plays? Of course he does, but he's young. He's getting better and better. For the plays that he botches, he also makes some hellacious plays. I can't tell you how many times this year he's made plays that I'm like, there's only a handful of third basemen in the league that can do that. He's also extremely busy over there for a third baseman. You know, they always call that the hot corner and whatnot. Here's one of the issues when you put Riley in these OAAs and these UZRs and these PDQs and XYZs. You're not watching the damn ball game, because when you move your third baseman around and don't play a legitimate defense, and I'm talking about a legitimate defense, a third baseman standing on third base and not playing in half the time, he's playing deep second base / shallow left field. That's what he does half the time. So you can't, by any stretch of the imagination, go off these goofy, dorky stats because he's not playing third base when he does it. Riley is an excellent third baseman when he's allowed to play the third base, but he gets a lot of balls hit his way because his pitching staff, I mean, here we go again with Minter, right? I mean, it is unfreaking believable that someone would come after Riley after last night. Minter came in after Morton gives up the 3-run bomb, which, by the way, once again, we said it way too late to pull him. But Minter comes in and he gets shellacked. At this point, Minter cannot be trusted in high leverage situations. And tied with your division rival in the 6th inning is a high leverage situation. There's no other word for it. That is a high leverage situation. He shouldn't be in there right now. Do I think Minter can straighten it out? Yeah, I do. He was phenomenal last October. And usually with these guys, it's just a little bit that they're off, so I get it. But you can't go to him in that position, tied up, 6th inning. I don't care what you think you're going to get out of so-and-so and so-and-so in the next few innings. You cannot put Minter there. You have to be forced to put Minter in late in the ball game, extra innings, because you have no other options. The way he's been pitching recently, he's got a 4.66 ERA, but he hasn't improved on it is the problem. You needed a lefty to go in at that time. Matzik should have been in there. That's a high leverage situation. So if you get out of that inning without giving up the disastrous 4 runs, you get some breathing room for that offense. It's going to click a little. Now, people still keep trying to tell me that the outfield is fine, that Almonte is fine, that Heredia is fine. It's not fine. They've got to go out and get a left fielder. There's no way around it. Or some sort of an outfielder, either a left fielder or a center fielder that can hit. They need a bat. That's what's missing in this lineup. They have no length, and the lineup falls. Once you get past Riley, it's very sketchy. It's Dansby. If he's hot, that's great. But outside of that, it is a nightmare to try to get offenses generated. When you get past the 4 slot of Swanson, Heredia, Almonte, Contreras, That's what you were looking at last night. That's not a contender's bottom half of the offense. And I'm not saying get rid of Heredia or Almonte. If they're not a part of any kind of a trade deal, which I can't imagine they would be considering their age, you leave them up to play. They play fine, but they should not be. Both those guys should not be in the lineup every day. You might have to DFA Ender NCRT at this point. Though you love his glove, his bat it's an issue. So there you have that. The Atlanta Braves. I'm done with the rant. The Atlanta Braves. When I see goofy things like that, and like I said, I'm not trying to call out one in particular person, so that's why I didn't give you the name. But you might have seen the tweet. But the whole point is, you cannot go off of these goofy stats if you're not watching the game, and you're not watching the game if you think he is not a legitimate third baseman in Major League Baseball. And to put him in left field, and you're never going to afford Josh Donaldson. Remember, you got dead money sitting over there because of Ozuna. It's going to have to be someone much more economical than Josh Donaldson, who signed a ridiculous contract, which, by the way, the Twins are regretting the hell out of. Not as much as the Braves are regretting the Ozuna trade, but they are signing, but they are regretting. I'll get into it. Maybe I'll do it tomorrow. Talk about real trade possibilities for the Atlanta Braves, what's realistic in their budget, and who's out there, who's actually going to get moved. All right, today, Atlanta, it's do or die. David Peterson versus Max Fried. Max Fried comes off the IL today. For all intents and purposes, this is a must win. Now, 5.5 games out of first. You fall to 6.5 with DeGrom on the hill tomorrow. You could very well be 10 games out of first place before the All-Star break, and then all this trading for is moot. You're now trading away. I'll go ahead and let y'all go. Thanks for watching. Please like and share today. But I'm absolutely done with this guy. I didn't have much faith in him. Last night sealed the deal. We'll see you. Have a great day, Braves country.
You're in Braves country.